Greetings, YouTube. Welcome to episode 1.9 of the Encyclopedia Magica. And we're into anklets. And just magical anklets. Which, I don't remember what the actual body slots were back in second edition. It may have been first and second edition. It may have been kind of mushy in the sense that if the item was made specifically to be worn in a certain spot, then you could wear it in that spot, even if you had many other magic items on. They codified it a lot more in like 3.5 and Pathfinder, where it was very specific. This is the list of body slots for items for humanoids and lists of body slots for quadrupeds. So it was a little more, this is what you can have and this is what you can't have. But I guess if the magic item was designed to be worn as an anklet, you could wear it. The Equus. An Equus is a magical piece of jewelry that, upon command, polymorphs into some form of beast of burden. The word Equus, plural equi, comes from all ancient language and has a little translation to the common tongue. It's Latin. The closest translation is beast of burden or horse. Well, that's kind of cool. So you just get yourself beast of burden. That's cool. And that's a 2,000 gold XP to make and 8,000 gold piece to buy. Kind of handy. All right, so we have the creatures list. So here's a list of what the different kinds of Equus anklets you could have. So we have a unicorn, a giant stag, a bull, a super heavy warhorse. Not just a heavy warhorse, a super heavy warhorse. A heavy warhorse, a super heavy warhorse special, wow, a camel, which I have to tell you, when you're going from super heavy warhorse special to camel, it's a bit of a letdown. Water buffalo or ultra heavy warhorse. This sounds like something from like a wrestling ultra heavy warhorse. That's funny. All right, then we have the Anklet of Growth. It appears and functions as an anklet of levitation in all respects. However, it also causes the wearer's leg to grow at a rate of 1 inch per turn for as long as it is worn. The victim's dexterity score drops by 2 points per foot of growth. If 2 anklets are worn, both legs grow evenly, and dexterity drops only by 1 point per foot of growth. They may be removed by the usual methods. The magical growth and loss of dexterity can be negated only by a removed curse. Curse item, so it doesn't have an XP cost, and it's 1,200 gold piece value. Pretty funny though, you put it on somebody's ankle and some of their legs starts going, whoa, get it off, get it off. There's a car out there with a bad engine. For a second I thought something was farting. The Anklet of Hobbling, 600 XP, 6,000 gold. When locked on an ankle, this item causes the victim to move at 1/3 normal rate. Okay. Two are used, only 1/3 normal rate is possible. So it reduces your speed by 1/3. If you wear 2, you're down to 1/3. All right, okay. That's nasty, but good if you want to have somebody you want to keep them from running away. The Anklet of Levitation, 2,500 to make, 17,000 to buy. This item can be locked and commanded to rise. It stops and goes upon command of the person who locked it on. If one anklet is used, the wearer is hoisted by one leg in a most inconvenient position. Hence the inconvenient position. If two are worn, however, used, normal levitation is obtained. It's controlled within a range of 60 feet, but the effect is otherwise identical to the wizard's spell levitation, bestowing vertical movement at a rate of 20 feet per round. The victim cannot be dropped unless the anklet is suddenly unlocked or destroyed. Alrighty, so if it turns off, I guess. But if somebody else puts them on you, they control the levitation? That's also a useful way of keeping someone from getting away. They give you problems and boom, and dangle them in the air for a while. Are you going to stop running away? Yes. Okay, let them down. The Anklet of Sinking, cursed, worth 600 GP. The anklet appears and functions as an anklet of walking. However, when used to walk on acid or on water more than 30 feet deep, the anklet stops functioning at some inconvenient point, suddenly becoming heavy as a 100-pound weight. Yeah, that's bad if you're walking across a pool of lava. We have the Anklet of Sure Footing. This is 2,000 XP and 16,000 GP, so a 1 to 8 ratio. It is a popular belief by most wage that this wizard who invented these items served on a pirate ship based on the Corsair domains. Legend has it that the wizard did not adapt well to life at sea. The ship's pitching and rolling as it rode the waves made it impossible for the wizard to cast spells. After months of research, he enchanted a pair of anklets that would make his life at sea easier. The anklets were woven from kelp, and wizard dubbed them anklets of sure footing. Both anklets must be worn. The wearer and do not function if covered by footwear or cloth. Okay, so they have to be exposed. Can't wear them with boots. The wearer is never affected by seasickness and can move at normal speeds across any ship. The ship's decks, even under treacherous conditions such as mountainous waves and gale force winds. Spellcasting is not hampered by the ship's movement because the anklets ensure the caster's steadiness. In addition, the wearer can climb rigging as easily as walk and fights and cast spells from the rigging as if standing on solid ground. While the anklets can be worn by any race and class, they are highly sought after by seafaring rogues and spellcasters. That's really kind of useful. Then we have the Anklet of Walking, 1200 XP and 6,000 GP, so it's a 1 to 5 ratio. When locked, this anklet enables its wearer to walk upon any fluid, water, oil, acid, etc. without actually touching it. Feet or boots hover a fraction of an inch across the fluid. Above the fluid, the anklets can support 200 pounds in weight to support 500 pounds. So if you have one anklet, I would be able to do it, would not be carrying a whole lot of gear. I'm like at a 180, I think, or 170, something like that, probably 180. But two anklets, that's 500 pounds. That's a good size adventure right there. Then we have a single item here, and this is a Antenna of Triangulation, which is cursed, no XP, 55,000 gold. Holy crap! The Antenna of Triangulation. These antennas are used usually over 8 feet in width and can be 20 feet or more in length. They appear to be antennae removed from some gigantic insect. There is a helmet of liaison that accompanies the antenna when it is first purchased, assuming one is for sale, that links the antenna and the wearer of the helmet. The helmet relays the information found by the antenna in exact detail to the wearer. Okay. When the helmet is put on, the wearer immediately gets a complete picture of the space around them. The operator sees everything in a 360-degree, 10,000 yard sphere. Every little detail can be viewed mentally. The positions of these items change whenever the ship's heading changes or when the objects in sight change. These antennas make it possible for anyone to surprise the ship as long as someone is wearing the helmet. The antennae can be used to tell the wearer where the approaching spell-jamming ship or asteroid is in relation to the vessel's current location. The item, having no charges, can be used in a limited number of times. So why the heck is this considered, or is it just because it's like an artifact? That's why it's got no XP. So like the gods made it or something. Because this is a really powerful item. A 10,000 yard sphere is a lot. Now, admittedly, when you're dealing with like the high seas or spell jamming, you're going to be far away, but you're not going to be engaging another ship at distances of that far. So to get into range of communication or combat, you're going to be within less than 1,000 yards. So this thing means that you're going to have complete knowledge of everything going around you in a battle or any kind of interaction with another vessel or vessels. Very, very powerful. Okay, the next section is all about anchors, and we're going to do that in another video, episode 1.10, I guess. So thank you for being here for episode 1.9 of the 4,000, of the Encyclopedia Magica. I'm doing a lot of 4,000 question videos lately. And if you watch on Thursdays, you might know what that means. Thank you for being here. I hope you'll be here for episode 1.10.